Oh, Calico, Calico, Calico. It has been a while since I've seen you all together like this at a tribal council setting, sort of where we started off the game. This time, not because of any effort that y'all couldn't pull off, but you are here at tribal council because of the timeline of the game. Forced vote off. We're going to start this tribal council off with a question and answer ceremony. I'm going to start this tribal council off with Bree. If you can talk, Bree. If you can talk, if you cannot, just let me know. You're muted, so I'm not sure.
Give me 1 second.
Yep, take your time.
Okay.
All right, Bree. So fill me in. I haven't been able to talk to you at tribal council. How has iSurvivor been for you? How's the Calico tribe? And like, is the game what you expected?
In the beginning it was, I want to say, I think because we had a good momentum and we've been pretty much, we got all our wins in and everything was all happy-go-lucky. And now here we are at tribal council having to vote someone out. And how do you do that? So, I mean, for me, as right now, I don't feel good. I don't like the feeling that I have inside, to be honest with you, because you're voting someone out that may or may not have been at the end of the day, you're voting someone out that was a part of the team that's been winning. So it's like, how do you do that? I don't know.
So for you, it sounds like it's a tough decision, obviously. You didn't even lose a challenge and you're forced to vote out somebody who's been with you for 2 weeks now. Yeah. Are you still like at this moment undecided? Are scenarios still playing in your head? Are reasons still fluttering through?
Honestly, even if I had someone else that I would want to even vote, I mean, it seems like there has been a collective decision on who to vote out. And it's almost in that pressure that, okay, well, you go against the grain and then what happens next? So.
Does anybody feel similarly? Thank you, Bree. Does anybody feel similarly to Bree in that there's like a consensus among the ship here at this point in time? Anybody? See a little nod from JB. I'm not really sure.
I think honestly, people are afraid to say what they really feel, only because of the fact that, one, of course, you don't want to hurt people's feelings. But I mean,
is anybody here?
Conversations been had.
Yeah. So if anybody here, if it's you, by a show of hands, would you want to know if you're getting voted out, or would you like to not know? So raise your hand if you want to know if it is you. So by a show of hands, the majority of this tribe would like to know. If somebody feels like it's not them and knows who it is, does anybody want to just rip the Band-Aid off here right now?
Right, let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to be transparent, and at the end of the day, I did tell Venus that the majority vote was her.
That's funny. So I was speaking of Bree. Bree touched on a point about consensus. I leave the floor open to the entire tribe. The tribe raises their hands, and Bree's the only one to actually like rip the Band-Aid off when she actually set me up for the question in which I expected somebody else to answer. Why so scared if it's like something that the tribe all knows and according to Bree is scared to talk about? Venus, do you think it's you tonight?
Yes, I do.
Why you particularly over anybody else on the team?
I want to say, well, I don't know what their thoughts are, but I was going kind of based off of the challenges, like the score with the last one and then the previous one. Now, I did hours, but I wasn't one of the ones that, was locking it in. So I'm sure that's probably why, but Brie did come to me and she did let me know that kind of the whole tribe was like, yeah, Venus is the one that we want to get out of here.
Do you appreciate that transparency here at the first vote?
I do, but I feel like the way that it was kind of delivered, and because I pay attention to people's words, so I feel like kind of through the day, I was kind of talking to everybody, and people that I usually spoke to, they kind of were like, mum, like they didn't say anything to me. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I noticed that they were kind of quiet, and it was kind of the way that Bree said it, like, oh, well, I'm trying to be transparent, I'm not trying to be a complete ass. And I'm just like.
Okay. And I apologize for that, Venus. I honestly, that wasn't my intent to say it like that or have that type of delivery. So that, it's hard. It's a hard subject to talk about when it's someone that you don't necessarily want to vote off or have anyone. Really, we don't want to vote off anybody. But I do apologize for that. And I'm sorry for the way I delivered that to you.
Oh, that's cool.
Venus, if not you, who else on the team? Like, if you were to sell your case here to your tribe, somebody's got to go tonight. So if the option is you, what's your case to these people?
I would just like to, excuse me. I would just like to say that we did come off of a lot of wins. I wasn't with the second challenge. I wasn't one of the people that was hitting it and getting all the points for us, but I've never missed a challenge. Like I've always been in, and like I'm a competitor. So I compete and I go hard. So I don't know, like people might see me as somebody who, oh, she's not doing and she's not producing results as well. It's kind of early on. I think it would be a mistake to let somebody go that has a lot to prove and that can do it. So,
to your credit, you have, just based on history of the game, we've had our musicians miss playing our harmonicas, and you have not missed it one day yet. What are you basing your vote on tonight? You have a vote. What are you basing it on?
I guess I'm basing my vote off of, because I was trying to, like, after I started hearing different conversations, I was gonna kind of go with ego and be like, well, I don't like how this person or whatever, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm basing my vote off of, I guess, the person I had the least communication with, and probably like we just didn't kind of really get it. Like it was kind of, we kind of bonded in the beginning, but it started to lose steam. So that's who I'm basing my vote on.
Thank you, Venus.
Really quickly, I just kind of wanted to comment on something.
Of course, Alex.
In my vote, I'm undecided. I'll say that right now. But Venus, for me, what it was today wasn't so much the challenges, because I do think you've been active in the challenges and you've been active in your role, so everything's fine. The main thing for me was, like, when I asked you for a name today, I felt like you weren't really giving me anything. So I don't know where your head's at. And that's my, like, if you want me to vote with you, I don't know who you're voting for or what your kind of strategy is in this game. So that's where I was having some difficulty.
Right. Yeah. Like when you asked me, Alex, I didn't have an idea. Like it probably came to me like the last 30 minutes, kind of crunch time, because I don't want to vote anybody off. I actually like everybody. So it wasn't me being unauthentic. I just honestly didn't know.
Alex, we'll just throw a question at you since you're a part of the mix here now. Is this a difficult, because I don't know, this tribal council just feels like the energy here is quite I really do believe that y'all really do enjoy each other to an extent. You know, I know you're all competitors. There's just a vibe that I'm getting that, yeah, somebody's leaving and you know, outwit, I'll play at last, but there's still just a somber vibe that I'm getting. And maybe it's from your facial expression and stuff, or maybe all of y'all are really good actors, but there's just a vibe that I'm getting. And explain that to me. Is it, why am I perceiving this vibe, Alex?
I think it's a couple of things. I think it's late. I also think that, I mean, like people have busy days, whatever, there's all of that going on. But also, when you don't go to tribal back to back to back, regardless of the personal connections that you're making, you don't really know who has my back, who can I trust, who can I give information to, where are the lines in the tribe. And because of that, I feel like everybody's sort of walking on eggshells. And so even when we're sitting at tribal and we're saying, oh, there might be a consensus tonight, still people are kind of too afraid to really throw out any names or say anything specific. And honestly, with the number of competitions that we've won, I think that's kind of to be expected. I don't think if you haven't gone to tribal early, it's going to be really difficult. So just coming up, you know, with the game potentially changing up, because I think there's going to be a swap soon. I guess we all just have to rely on the strength of our social connections, because until tonight, we haven't had a chance to really prove our trust to anybody. So that's where I'm at. That's why I feel somber about this, but I'm not sure about everybody else.
Thank you, Alex. Nolita, the look on your face, you don't look super, I mean, not this is like a happy place to be, but you probably look, correct me if I'm wrong, but you look a little bit more sad than most people here. Well, tell me what, like how you're feeling, what's going through your mind at this moment.
I just feel like it's kind of what Alex was saying. It's like when you win back to back to back, you become a unit and a family, and we all have roles. And I don't know, it's just really, really sad to hear, especially since we didn't bring it on ourselves. We did everything that we could, and like the inevitable is happening, and I'm gonna suck. That's leave me alone. I don't know. Can you hear me? I don't know.
No, I did. I got that, Nolita. Thank you very much. Romeo. Now,
Yeah.
the narrative so far, or the picture that's being painted for me, is there might be, you know, a decision amongst whether you all decided this together or whether we're spoken with these people here and then these people here and these people here. And then the general vibe is, okay, we're all going to be voting for Venus tonight. However, I mean, that's a picture that's being painted for me. Is there a little part of you that is questioning that direction at all? Like a red herring? Like, is there a part of you that is like, oh, damn, maybe that isn't what's going on. Maybe there's something else here. Like, are you concerned at all that what you think has happened is in fact not going to happen?
I really wish I could say that, you know, just because it's just been said already all night, you know, like to quote my godmother, this is a major inconvenience. I really don't want to be here. I'm just ready to get this over with because truth be told, we shouldn't be here. I mean, yes, I understand the nature of the game. We have to, you know, get to a certain amount of people in a certain amount of time, but I feel as though we've all done everything that we could to make this tribe as successful as it has been so far in this game. And so it's just really like nobody wants to make a move because they really don't see a move to make. And just because we have to vote someone out, everyone's trying to find a reason to vote someone out when there's really no reason to vote someone out right now, other than the fact that we have to. So, I mean, if there is another plan that's out there, I damn sure haven't heard nothing about. I mean, I would be surprised, but it is, I mean, it is Survivor, so you never know, you know, anything can happen. But I really do feel as though we all are kind of in that same space, like from what I'm really getting, like nobody wants to be here.
Thank you, Romeo. Congratulations on immunity.
Thank you.
Zach. So does the talk around tribal council tonight, a little part of you feel just like, okay, a little bit relieved because your name is not Venus?
I mean, yes, my name is not Venus. But you know, you can never be too sure of what's going to happen until the votes are read. Can I say I'm relieved that I haven't been told my name today? Yes, of course. Is it possible I'm still getting votes? Absolutely, all the time. So I do feel, you know, relief, but anything's possible. And until the votes are read, you never know. And I won't be relieved until, you know, I am hopefully still here at the end of the day.
Thank you, Zach. JB, how important is this vote for Calico in terms of keeping the momentum y'all have?
It is, I guess, but like as people have already said, like I feel like this tribal alone has just killed momentum. Like there was just nothing that we could have even done ourselves to avoid it. And like we stayed up all night making sure that we could all collectively stay in this game together. And it's just like deflating for just a couple days later, nothing we could have done. Like somebody's just going no matter what. So while I want to say that yes, like we will keep momentum, we don't have any idea what's ahead for us either. Like it could be a swamp, we could stay together. Like this could kill momentum, it could not. So much is up in the air because obviously we didn't expect to even be here voting someone when we didn't lose. And just to also echo what other people are saying, and like it could be anybody, and especially for me after sitting in on a tribal council where like Bobby thought that he wasn't going and was so confident in not talking to me at all. Like anything can happen at any point in time, which is why I think everybody's just so somber, because while like it seems obvious to people, it could always be in the back of your head, it could be you. And like I don't even want to vote anybody out, and if I feel that way, I have to imagine everybody does. And if I feel like I don't have a reason to really vote anybody, like in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, well, if I don't have a reason, maybe I'm the one that could go. So it's
Well,
not a
how
good
do you
place to be
feel
in.
that, what do you feel about your chances of surviving tonight and the vote ending up the way you expect it to?
I mean, I'm just gonna say exactly what Zach said. Like in my mind, nobody's told me that it's me, but like it always could be. Like in the back of my head, I'm always like, you're always out early in games, like it's gonna be you. Like, and it very well could be. So I don't know. I
Thank
don't
you,
like
JB.
being here.
Julia,
Hi.
how has iSurv1vor been for you? 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks in.
It's been really fun. I've played games before and I don't tend to go outside of like the space that I usually am in. And when you're in like the same space playing games, you see like the cast has like the same people that it always does. And the reason I started playing these games was like, yes, I love the strategy. Yes, I love Survivor, whatever, but like is to meet people. I've met some of my like bestest friends, my boyfriend in this community. So it's been really nice to branch out and meet new people. We have a really like diverse tribe. Isn't just like everyone's interests and where they're from and like their walks of life and all these things. And that, like I think that's awesome. It's been really nice to win. Obviously, to not go here, it's always nice to win. But I think just like all the winning makes being here just like even worse because it's like we know what it's like just to like be top dog and like not have to worry about it, and it sucks coming here.
With the potential of this vote being straightforward out in the open, does it concern you? You know, hidden idols possibly being out there, the merchant ship has come twice now. Does it concern you that with a narrative that could, like, if Venus is leaving and everybody's aware of it, all it takes is one person with the right ammo to like possibly switch that up? Or does that cost your mind, concern you at all?
Oh, absolutely. Like is that it's Survivor. You don't know what can happen. You don't know what kind of wacky twist, wacky powers you guys are gonna pull out of your ass. Like JB's power of like switching tribes. I never would have thought of that shit. Like I don't know what else you guys have up your sleeves. So like who knows what someone could pull out. Like I haven't talked really like idols with people, but it's Survivor. Like things are out there, things are hidden. We've been getting a lot of coins for a reason. Like it like very well a possibility. And like yes, it's concerning, but you just have to, I guess, hope. That's all you can do here. You could try, you can try, you can try. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to like hoping what you're doing is what's gonna happen.
Cross your fingers.
Can I interrupt really quick
of course.
to add on to that?
Of
Also,
course.
some of us probably have seen Survivor like Australia. Sometimes there'll be a double tribal and the person you vote out just goes to the other tribe. So like you never know what's gonna happen in a game like this. You could be doing that. So
This could be a way for us to
shake
get
that
y'all to
up.
intermingle. That would-
Sandy's like crocodile grin right now does allude to that fact.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, JB. Let's wrap up this Q&A with the captain herself, Jazz. Jazz, from my vantage point, not that the captain is like the make or break it of whether this tribe has been successful, but because you've been successful and because you are captain, I'm giving you the captain credit that you've been running this ship quite successfully. So good job. How does it feel having to like vote off one of your crewmates when you didn't even lose a challenge? Like, do you feel like it's especially hard for you because you were given that captain role, sort of like the parent of the ship?
First, I just want to say, I'm not going to take credit for all the wins we've had. This tribe is just so like, it's like a well-oiled machine and everybody just works together so well. But at first it felt like it was just shock when I realized that we were going to tribal, because at first I was like, oh, we're just competing individually and then it's going to be like a group score. But then I was like, wait a minute, we're going to tribal. And that's when the shock hit, and then it was like dread, and now it's like sadness and I just don't want to be here doing this, because like Nolita said, we're like a family. And it's like if I had to vote off one of my siblings, because I have 9 of them and everybody feels like a sibling, and I just don't want to vote anyone out.
It's just so strange seeing this tribe in this fashion, because every time I've seen y'all, whether it's like in a group context, it's like y'all are excited and happy because you've been winning, right? If I talk to you one-on-one, it's like you're just come off of a win, so like there's not really that much of this type of tone. So I was not expecting this vibe here. Yeah, so this is the opportunity in tribal council that like I'm going to give the floor to any of you without a question. If you feel like, you know, you misspoke, you haven't gotten something off your chest, you feel like, you know, you need to convince somebody to vote a certain way. It may not be the case tonight, but this is the time at tribal council where the floor is yours. Anybody can take it. Okay. Now I'm going to ask each of you to vote. What's going to happen is please make your way over to your Discord confessionals. In your Discord confessional, you are going to type the name of the person you are voting out, the name of the person you want to see written on the parchment. After you are done voting, you are free to unmute, talk, and hang out while I draft the results. All right, can everybody please come back on camera? I have the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. If anybody is in possession of a hidden immunity idol or an in-game advantage and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. I'll read the votes. First vote, Venus. Venus. That is 2 votes for Venus. Next vote, Venus. We are at 3 votes for Venus. Venus. We are at 4 votes for Venus, 6 votes left. Next vote, JB3. We are at 4 votes for Venus, 1 vote JB. Next vote, Venus. Next vote, the 5th person voted out of iSurvivor, Port Royal, Venus. Venus, tonight, 6 votes is enough. You can unmute and say your goodbyes and final words.
Well, it's been very fun. Follow me on, hit me up on Facebook, y'all. Marvinus Daniels. Bye.
Marvinus, it has been a pleasure from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening to my spam message when I asked you to come and play my game. You'll always have a close little place in my heart, my little recruit. You know, I was rooting for you. But this is a hard game. You tried. And yeah, welcome to the family. Thank you for playing.
No problem. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye, Venus.
And she's off to the pre-jury. Oh, Calico, Calico, Calico. I really hope that, you know, this vote is not going to mess up what momentum and cohesion you have and how y'all have been coalescing. However, I find it funny that all of you would love to be in the know when you get voted out, yet none of you, or very few of you, were willing to give that same courtesy. We'll see how that plays out in the future. You can head back to camp.